And now this story, one of the country's most popular zoos is getting ready to say goodbye to its giant pandas. After more than 2 decades, the San Diego Zoo is sending the last of its 2 giant pandas to China at the end of its multi-year loan arrangement. Jamie Yuccas got a behind-the-scenes look at the exhibit ahead of the bear's departure. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning. The San Diego Zoo's giant pandas are part of a unique breeding program to save the species. It was the first joint research program between China and the United States when it began in 1996. But now the most successful breeding program outside of China is coming to a close. From kicking back while munching on bamboo to watching their roly-poly bodies tumbling on the ground, giant pandas are an iconic attraction at the San Diego Zoo. But now, visitors are lining up for a last look at the adorable black and white bears.
The black around the eyes, the white faces. The more you look at them and they look back at you, you're kind of like, you know something I don't know. That's what attracts us to them.
Zookeepers Dallas Dumont and Kathy Hawk have cared for the pandas for years.
Good girl.
It was 1996 when Bai Yun arrived from China. At the time, pandas were endangered, so Chinese authorities asked the zoo to help save the species from extinction. But when the breeding program began, Bai Yun and her proposed mate didn't have a magic moment.
Bai Yun was very much interested in him, but he had nothing to do with her. She flirted with him.
I know how she feels.
She would roll in the dirt and rub her face in the dirt, thinking she looks very pretty, and she'd go trotting up to him, and he'd just go, whoa, and he'd just run from her.
So Barbara Durant, the zoo's director of reproductive sciences, employed artificial insemination. It was successful, and research to decipher the mysteries of panda mating habits began. However, the length of a pregnancy remains a guessing game.
We've had pregnancies reported as short as 85 days and as long as 185 days. Their physiology is still a little bit mysterious.
Luckily, Bai Yun's second suitor, Gao Gao, won her over. Pandas are born blind and deaf. As cubs learn to climb, it's not unusual for them to take a spill, something the keepers discovered only when it first went down.
We literally heard a collective from the whole group in the panda exhibit, and everyone was just beside themselves. And if he shakes himself off, kind of looks around like, oh, I hope nobody saw that, and then back up the tree.
Zhao Li Wu was their 6th cub. CBS This Morning was first to meet the adorable ball of fluff back in 2013. Whether born here or abroad, all pandas belong to China. The zoo says successful breeding and an increased awareness of conservation helped boost China's wild population of pandas to around 2,000, downgrading the panda from endangered to vulnerable in 2016.
Good girl, princess.
Building bonds of trust with the pandas has allowed zookeepers to perform some medical tests without anesthesia. It's also helping them crate train the pandas for their journey back to China. Their new home will be the Chinese Conservation and Research Center, where other San Diego pandas now live. At 27, Bai Yun's breeding days are over, but that doesn't make it any easier for those who love her to say goodbye.
Is it almost though like this is your child and they're leaving for college?
Absolutely. Particularly with Bai Yun, we've been with every baby that she's had. We've held every cub that she's had. So she is like our daughter, more or less. And then the cubs are our grandkids. And I can't top that.
The panda exhibit will stay up even while it's empty. San Diego Zoo administrators are planning to travel to China to continue negotiations for new cubs in the future because after so long, having pandas at the San Diego Zoo has become, as they say, a bare necessity.
Dun-dun-dun. I forgot they were on loan, Jamie. I forgot they were on loan.
That's all pandas belong to China. So even the ones born here belong to China. And we've extended this program many, many times. So it's time for them to go back.
Do you know what a group of pandas is called?
I don't.
I just learned this 2 seconds ago.
Oh, I
Thank
can't
you,
wait.
Betty. It's called an embarrassment of pandas, like a gaggle of geese.
Or an embarrassment of riches.
It's called an embarrassment of pandas. I like
Thank you.
Nothing embarrassing about those guys.
No,
Thank you,
so
Jamie.
cute. Thank you.
Jamie.
Thank you.